Посидев от времени пыли, мчатся по земле автомобили старыми и новыми путями, едким зноем, стужей и дождями, и дождями.
Kuylayotgandir, kuylayotgandir.
Sen qaydan bilasan?
Balki keng olam shu mo'jaz qalbimga bo'ylayotgandir.
Sen qaydan bilasan?
Balki meni ham kimdir qaydadir jim o'ylayotgandir. O'ylayotgandir, o'ylayotgandir.
Sen qaydan bilasan?
Balki bu ko'zlar.
Sen qaydan bilasan?
Balki keng olam.
Sen qaydan bilasan?
O'ylayotgandir, o'ylayotgandir. kuylayotgandir kuylayotgandir
sen qaydan bilasan
balki keng olam shu mo'jaz qalbimga bo'ylayotgandir
sen qaydan bilasan
balki meni ham kimdir qaydadir jim o'ylayotgandir o'ylayotgandir
o'ylayotgandir
o'ylayotgandir
sen qaydan bilasan
balki yulduzlar
sen qaydan bilasan
balki bu ko'zlar
sen qaydan bilasan
balki keng olam
sen qaydan bilasan
o'ylayotgandir o'ylayotgandir
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough. All right, hold on. Stop. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. And so that was some raw footage of a Russian, we think, music video. We don't know when it was made. This was something that Greg from Oregon Archive had brought, and we were scanning it, and we're like, wow, this is pretty great. It goes on 41 minutes. And then at some point, it kind of veers into this guy with a saxophone. So I don't know if that's the same thing or if that was just spliced together. No idea. But I know that some people, when I showed it, a glimpse of it, people were like, ooh, I want to see that. So there you go. You saw it. And I was like, well, I'll just put it's silent footage. It's raw footage. There's no sense of, we don't know what the actual song was. And so I just went to archive.org and looked up Russian or Soviet synth pop or disco. And that's what I found 2 songs. That's 15 minutes before I started the show. So if I had done a little bit more research, I might have done a deep dive and actually found a compilation or something. But anyways, there's no way you would have tolerated 41 minutes of that. Okay, so thematically, that's related to this next film, but only in the very, most barely tangential. So this is The Life, which is a Lutheran drama about whatever, but this one, like the last one that we saw that had a Leonard Nimoy in it, is about communism. Because, boy, we just didn't like communism back in the day. Well, what do you know? We still don't like communism. And we are very eager to label it wherever we feel like we see something we don't like. So this one, again, has a television celebrity in it. I'm not going to say who it is, but maybe you will figure it out pretty quickly. And there might be more than one in here. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody in this looks really familiar, and so I haven't had a chance to look it up. But anyways, here it is, The Red Trap. Enjoy.
I'm so excited about the news, Mr. Brandt.
Yeah, I'm glad those text charges against Schwartz have been dropped. But we had an airtight defense anyway.
Mr. Brandt, you know that wasn't what I was talking about. Carl Brandt, prominent local attorney, who came to this country as an immigrant 35 years ago, is being considered for appointment to the Superior Court vacancy, according to sources close to the governor's office.
It's a good feeling, Jeannie. Even to be considered. When we came from Hamburg, I couldn't even speak enough English to get a janitor's job in a court building.
And now you're going to be a judge.
No, not so fast. After all, it's only a newspaper report.
I'm sure it's true.
If it is, will you come along as my secretary, or would you rather stay here in case my son takes over the office?
Well, don't you think I'd better keep my job with you? A bird in the hand, you know. There's a gentleman outside to see you.
I don't have any other appointments today.
It's Mr. Roger Hensley from the FBI.
Oh, well, I guess I better see him then.
Yes, sir. Come in, Mr. Hensley.
Thank you. Mr. Brandt? What can I do for you, Mr. Hensley?
It's about your son, Paul.
What about Paul?
Well, I'm afraid he's heading for serious trouble, Mr. Brandt.
Trouble?
We've learned that he's becoming involved with the communist movement on the campus.
Paul? He talks wild sometimes, but that's just part of growing up.
Well, I'm afraid he's doing more than talking, sir. He's associating with known communists, even attends their meetings. The front meetings, that is. We know that they're getting ready to recruit him any day now.
You're sure about this?
We're sure.
Why'd you come here, Mr. Hensley? Is there some charge against Paul?
No. No, there are no charges. But we are concerned, Mr. Brandt, particularly because of you.
Because of me?
The commies would love to snare the son of a Superior Court judge.
I will withdraw my name at once. But what about Paul? Can we do something?
Well, that's entirely up to you, sir. We can't get into it unless the law is broken. But believe me, Mr. Brandt, we do want to help.
Thank you, Mr. Hensley.
Bye, sir.
Hello? Is Paul Brandt around? Will you please ask him to call his father, either at the office or at home? Thank you.
Hi, Dad. What's up?
What time are you through with classes today?
Oh, about 3. Why?
Will you please come up to my office as soon as you're through?
I can't this afternoon, Dad. I've got other plans.
You would have to change your plans. I've got to talk to you.
All right. I'll be there. Yeah. Goodbye. Hi, Jean.
Well, hello.
You look better than ever.
You have a good memory.
No, it hasn't been that long.
Hasn't it? Go right in. Your dad's expecting you.
Hi, Dad. What's on your mind?
Paul, I've heard some rather disturbing reports about you.
Such as?
Such as the fact that you're spending so much time with people who are nothing but communists.
Well, nothing but communists. Well, maybe there's nothing but communism for people who aren't afraid to think. Look, Dad, if you want to find out how I stand on anything, just ask me. Don't waste your time by listening to a lot of stool pigeons.
You don't know what you're saying, Paul. You don't know what communism really means.
No, but I'm learning. And what I'm learning makes more sense to me now than anything I've ever learned before. Your world is dying, Dad, and it's burying itself in the dry rot of imperialism and colonialism. Communism is building a new world right in front of your eyes, and you can't see it.
I saw communism at work before you were born, Paul. I remember the horrible, senseless violence, the bitterness. I saw the terror in Kiel and Berlin.
You remember a man named Hitler? That's where your violence came from. But people like you couldn't see that either until it was too late.
Paul, let's not quarrel about history. Think about America, our country. It's been good to us. Where else could all this happen?
I remember when you made that speech at a 4th of July picnic when I was about 12. And it sounded great then. But somehow you flag wavers never get around to mentioning wars and depression, big business government, bigotry, Middle Eastern oil, the China lobby. What's the matter? Don't you read between the headlines?
No matter what you say, Paul, and no matter how big our problems are, there's still the most important thing of all. We have freedom here. Freedom to make what we can of our own lives.
Freedom to conform. Freedom to make the proper responses when somebody pushes the propaganda buttons.
How about your own future? You can't make a living with wild talk like this. In June, you graduate from law school. Aren't you coming into my office then?
It wouldn't work, Dad. I want to practice law, but I want to defend those people that really need my help. Not a lot of tax dodgers. I'll make out all right. You'd be surprised how many people feel the same as I do about this. We're just not buying the red baiting line anymore.
It's what happens to the people in Russia and China. Rat baiting.
Oh, get with it, Dad. Who do you think worked out the mathematics for the Sputnik? A bunch of discontented peasants? I really stumped poor Dad with that line about mathematics for Sputniks. He couldn't think of a thing to say.
I'm so proud of you, Paul.
Well, thanks, Sandra. I just tried to think of some of the things I learned from you. Sandra, I really do appreciate all this trouble you've taken.
What makes you think it's been trouble?
Without meaning to be presumptuous, I feel obligated to write you concerning the press reports that you're considering my name, along with others, for appointment to the Superior Court vacancy. If this is the case, I am very grateful. But unfortunately, certain circumstances beyond my control would make it impossible for me to accept such an appointment.
I thought it best to notify you of this situation and sincerely hope that you will not misunderstand the intent of this letter.
Is something wrong, Mr. Brand? Is there anything I can do?
No, thanks, Jeannie. Just end this letter with the usual best wishes, etc.
Yes, sir.
Jeannie,
Yes, sir.
maybe you can help. I don't want to sound personal, but when you left school and came to work here, you and Paul used to get out together quite a bit.
Well, that's right, but I don't exactly know what happened. Paul just stopped calling me.
I know what happened. He got involved with the communist group at school.
Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry, Mr. Brandt.
I don't want to involve you in this, but it doesn't do any good for me to talk to Paul. I always seem to say the wrong things, and he twists my words back at me.
I'd like to help, but I don't know what I can do. He certainly wouldn't listen to me.
Do you know anybody at the university who could talk to him?
Well, we used to listen to Pastor Bob Myers. He's a student pastor at the university. Paul seemed to like him a lot, but now I don't know.
It's worth a chance. I'll see him this afternoon. Thank you, Ginny.
All right, Mr. Brandt.
Oh, I can't say that I recall your son, but with 12,000 students on the campus, I only work with those who come to see me, or those whose need is brought to my attention.
I guess it's my fault. After his mother died, Paul never had much time for church.
What's happened to Paul has happened to quite a few other young people. This is a book on communism written by J. Edgar Hoover. It's called Masters of Deceit. One chapter tells about a boy, a fine mind, intensely interested in the world about him and in science, but who had gradually lost his belief in God. Well, this boy came into contact with communist thinking in college, and in Mr. Hoover's words, believed he had found a new faith. Well, from what you say, your son also seems to feel that he has found a new faith.
I never thought of it this way. I guess you're right. Anything you can do to help him?
I don't know, Mr. Brandt, but I do know some of the fellows at his fraternity house. Maybe I could drop by and find a chance to meet him.
Pastor, I'll be so grateful for anything you can do.
I'll try and meet your son as soon as possible. And my guess is that his communist friends are going to move pretty fast now that he's talked to you. Yeah, that was an interesting meeting. And I was invited.
I don't suppose you've ever read this sheet.
Oh, I have many others like it. Many times.
You mean you've actually read this paper?
It's pretty heavy-handed stuff, isn't it? Personally, I never found much challenge in the Medak school of writing. Oh, here's another story about the communist author. The one who took the party bosses seriously when they said criticism would now be welcome. Just listen to this. He's a pig who fouls his own sty and should be driven out like any other pig of his kind.
Well, that's just a figure of speech.
Right. It's pretty crude, too, isn't it? You ever stop to think that communism is the most outdated major philosophy in the world today?
Or maybe that's just the other way around.
That's what they try to tell us, isn't it? They point to Sputnik, as though that proves something more than material, short-view progress. They use the externals of science to send a massive metal out into space, and then they forget the fundamental meaning of modern scientific thought.
Science is helping to destroy the old order.
You're certainly right about that. Our greatest scientific minds tell us that we've now reached a stage where matter and energy and the spiritual content of life seem to overlap. Yet, communist thought, rooted in the mind of a 19th century fanatic, still ignores the immeasurable value and dignity of the individual human soul. Isn't that what you'd call a cultural lag?
I wouldn't put it exactly that way.
No, sure you could put it much better. It's been nice talking to you. Look, why don't you drop around and we'll kick around a few more long-hair ideas.
I've discussed our young friend with the section.
Do they think we should recruit him?
Not so fast. You've got to take him in all right. But the section thinks he ought to commit himself first.
Well, how can we do that?
That's your job, baby.
Well, how?
It's about time Paul proved himself by doing something for the party, huh? Have him deliver this to our man in Chicago.
But do you think we can trust him to deliver something like this?
Why not? He's hopped up enough to do anything. And who'd bother to trail him?
What'll I tell him?
Now, you tell him anything you want to. I'm sure he'll believe it.
Paul, I'm so glad I reached you.
Hi, Sandra, what's up?
It was something just wonderful.
Well, sit down and fire away.
I finally convinced the leaders of the club that you should be one of us.
Even Ron?
Oh, well, it was Ron who insisted you could be trusted.
Well, what do you know?
Here, now, you put this in your pocket.
What am I supposed to do with it?
We hope that you'll deliver it to friends in Chicago.
What's in it?
Oh, just confidential records, dues, and things like that. We don't like to send them through the mail because, well, so many of our people are being watched these days.
Was it all right if I deliver this tomorrow afternoon? I have tests all tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow afternoon would be just fine. Oh, Paul, isn't it wonderful to be working together in something we both believe in?
Yeah.
You sure he was convinced?
Oh, he was convinced quite thoroughly.
Well, he's late reporting back.
Well, this time of day, you know, traffic in and out of Chicago is very heavy.
Any problems?
None.
Anybody see you give it to him?
Not a soul.
Fine work. Now, it's up to you, of course. But whenever you're ready, we're ready. I'm going to recommend you without reservation for membership.
Great. Well, how about celebrating with dinner on me?
Sure.
Wonderful.
Waiter.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Mr. Brand.
That's all right, Jeannie. I wasn't accomplishing much anyway.
I was wondering, have you heard from Pastor Bob?
Yes, he spoke with Paul at the frat house the other night, but he said it was just breaking the ice.
Are you going to be in court all afternoon?
I don't know why.
Well, I hope you won't mind, but I called Paul this morning. He doesn't like the idea much, but he's coming over this afternoon. I told him that there was something I had to talk with him about and that you'd be away in court.
It was a fine thing for you to do, Jeannie. A very fine and difficult thing. But what are you going to say?
Just let me try, Mr. Brand.
You're a wonderful girl, Jeannie. I only hope Paul will realize it before it is too late.
You just had to see me. Okay, doll, take a nice long look.
I don't know how your father would feel about my showing you this, but I thought you should know about it.
Governor. Dad shouldn't have written this. He's worked for years for that appointment.
He felt he had no other choice since the FBI came to see him about you.
The FBI? Oh, I'm sorry, this seat's taken.
I'm sorry, Paul.
I don't have to talk to you. I know my rights.
Of course you don't. But I thought you might want to after you see this.
I don't know what this is all about.
Your statement may be more correct than you think. Go ahead. Open the envelope.
This means nothing to me.
The university's physics lab has for several years had a missile research contract from Army Ordnance. Lately, papers have been disappearing. Fortunately, nothing important. The information in these particular papers is so elementary, it's meaningless.
So why are you bothering me with this stuff? I'm waiting for someone.
If you mean Sandra Thompson, I think she'll be answering a few questions herself tonight. The important thing, Paul, is that these papers were delivered to a Soviet agent in Chicago 2 days ago.
Soviet agent.
And we have reason to believe that a young man of your age and appearance delivered them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can really help us if you want to cooperate. We're interested in learning how these papers get in the wrong hands. Next time, it might be something important.
Don't ask me to do any of your stool pigeon work for you.
You think about those words tonight. Would you really use them in describing your service to your country? To your integrity as an American citizen? We're just as interested in helping the innocent and the misguided as finding the guilty. You remember that.
And then I didn't know where to go or who to talk to, so I decided to come here.
I'm glad you did, Paul.
The one thing I can't understand, I thought that Sandra and I really meant a lot to each other. I can't understand why she'd lie to me and get me in this kind of a mess.
Unfortunately, the hardcore communists sacrifice anything to achieve an end, even personal feelings. They forget one thing, and that will inevitably defeat them.
Inevitably?
That's right. You see, Christianity and science teach us that means, in the end, are part of a continuum. The means determine the end. Well, the communists, talk a lot about brotherhood as an end result, but they'd have us believe that this can be achieved by means that destroy the essential meaning of brotherhood.
Sometimes you have to suppress freedom temporarily in order to gain a greater freedom in the long run.
Well, it's the same paradox, isn't it? If it suppresses freedom and shows contempt for the moral and spiritual needs of man, on what foundation does communism hope ultimately to build freedom? Now, when you come right down to it, Paul, the fundamental difference between Christianity and communism is the essential importance of every human being in God's eyes.
Well, you make it sound as though communism were a religion.
To a communist, it's just that. Of course, it's the very antithesis of our own Christian religion.
In what way?
Well, you'd have to call communism an atheistic religion in that it denies the existence of God, and therefore also of man's responsibility to a higher power. Now, to a communist, man is not a creature of God, created in God's image. He's merely a rational animal fighting for mastery of the jungle.
Well, that's what they say of capitalism. I mean about being a jungle.
They never talk about capitalism in terms of 20th century democracy, do they? They're just still using the old cliches of Karl Marx. Well, by its own admission, communism is materialistic. Nothing matters but matter. To a communist, there's no communion between man and his spiritual source, no life hereafter, no immortality. Only this world counts. A world that man can see and touch, subjugate and master. Now, to a Christian, man is a very special creature of God. Well, true, he is fallen, but he is also redeemed by Jesus, who died for us on the cross.
Well, you're not denying that there's a material side to our lives.
Of course not. But as a child of God, the Christian lives in daily contact with the Father in a relationship of love. Now, he works to make this relationship meaningful in terms of the material world in which he lives. But his highest values are not material. They are the spiritual values of humility and mercy. Love and truth, honor and integrity. Fundamentally, Paul, the Christian's horizons extend beyond this world. He knows that he's been redeemed by Christ for eternity, for a life with God through the endless ages. You've had quite a lot for one day, haven't you? Why not sleep on it? Tomorrow we'll kick it around again.
Oh, now, well, what do I do about this FBI mess I'm in?
Oh, well, that's a little out of my line, but if I were you, I wouldn't be afraid to go and talk to them. You might talk to a good lawyer, too, if you happen to know one.
I've known a good lawyer all my life.
Good day, Miss Dawson.
Bye. Yes, sir? Yes, sir.
You didn't have to bring your notebook, Jeannie. But on second thought, maybe it is good you did. Perhaps Paul would like to dictate a letter. I'll be right back.
Would you take the letter, please? Dear Jeannie, I'm just beginning to realize how much you've done for me. And Dad, he says that this morning is the happiest of his life. Well, I can't say that yet, but I can say it's the most important. Just as last night with Pastor Bob was the most meaningful. And if Dad'll let you off 20 minutes early, I sure would like to take you to lunch and try to tell you how much I appreciate what you've done.
It's a date.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Your visit with This Is the Life. Helpful? I hope so. You know, for you and me to be adequate for all that life demands takes something. Better yet, it takes someone. And I mean someone spelled with a capital S. Oh, I know money's important too. As one man has put it, money isn't everything, it just quiets the nerves a little. But what or who is your real source of personal strength? You have an invitation to learn why Christianity unblushingly says our greatest need is for God. I know of no more concise statement of God's invitation than in this little 48-page booklet with the appropriate title, God's Invitation to You. I've read it, and believe me, I found it helpful. You will too. It's free. Write for your copy to This Is the Life, St. Louis 2, Missouri. Also available free of charge in Braille for the blind. In Canada, you may write to This Is the Life, Kitchener, Ontario, or Edmonton, Alberta. This program has been produced by the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, with congregations throughout the United States and Canada, and is dedicated to the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God and Savior of the world.
All right, John Banner. I feel like I saw him on a Love American Style as well. So definitely a television actor. Maybe he showed up in a film or two. I didn't really look him up. But yeah, boy, those Lutherans were concerned about those communists. I do have other This Is the Life, and I wonder if those also deal with communism. It'll be interesting to find out, and we will find out in the upcoming weeks. Yeah, what do I want to do? Okay. Let's kind of wipe the slate clean with this palate cleanser. Enjoy.
Listen, Gate, it was great back in 1880 when your old Aunt Katie did the polka. People say in that day it was too shocking when she showed her stocking in the polka. By and by, every guy wore a tie with polka dots when he'd sigh, darling, what's your answer? In her polka-dotted gown, she would hate to turn him down, so she'd say, Mr. Brown, you're quite a dancer. But before the dance was through, she would whisper, I love you, while the band played the polka-dot polka. Yes, you're old, and Katie was a sassy-looking lassie back in 1880 when a blow-off was a ball, and her heart went wacky for a dapper whippersnapper when he said, by cracky, you're the sweetest girl of all. In the old Masonic Hall, when a blowout was a ball, when a joint was just a bone, and a chisel worked in stone, and a ham was served with eggs, and a wolf had 2 more legs. Listen, Gate, it was great back in 1880 when your old Aunt Katie did the polka. People say in that day it was too shocking when she showed her stocking in the polka. By and by, every guy wore a tie with polka dots when he'd sigh, darling, what's your answer? In her polka-dotted gown, she would hate to turn him down, so she'd say, Mr. Brown, you're quite a dancer. But before the dance was through, she would whisper, I love you, while a band played the polka-dot polka. In her polka-dotted gown, she would hate to turn him down, so she'd say, Mr. Brown, you're quite a dancer. But before the dance was through, she would whisper, I love you, while a band played the polka-dot polka.
There's a baker, what a baker, baking all day long. While he's baking, he is making with a little song. And the people love to gather just to hear him sing a thing called the pumpernickel polka. It's a quaint little ditty that he sings to the crowd, and it sounds kind of crazy, I suppose. Oh, we don't sing it pretty, but he does sing it loud, and this is how the darn thing goes. Oh, buy a pumpernickel for a nickel, buy a pumpernickel, buy a pumpernickel for a nickel today. Get it while I got it, if you get it, then you won't regret it. Buy a pumpernickel for a nickel today. With a smile that's sunny, he wants the world to know he's never in the money, but always in the dough. Buy a pumpernickel for a nickel, buy a pumpernickel, buy a pumpernickel for a nickel today. Buy a pumpernickel, buy a pumpernickel for a nickel today. Get it while I got it, if you get it, then you won't regret it. Buy a pumpernickel for a nickel today. With a smile that's sunny, he wants the world to know he's never in the money, but always in the dough. Buy a pumpernickel for a nickel, buy a pumpernickel, buy a pumpernickel for a nickel today. Pumpernickel, now.
time to begin the fiddle polka. It's a special sort of music that they play. When they begin the fiddle polka, you can put your waltzes and your swing away. The boys in the back room stop to listen. They won't deal a card until the dance is through. When they play the fiddle polka, it's the dance I always have with you. While glasses ring, you can hear the other dancers as they sing. Voices on high, take the sound of merry dancers to the sky. Even the band gets excited and they have to leave the stand. The bull fiddle follows and the piccolo tags along. In the middle, see the fiddle in the middle of the throng. To dance the fiddle polka, all the old folks gather round to watch the fun. And when they hear the fiddle polka, they remember how they danced when they were young. Bright eyes and ruby lips invite us, while a spell of romance seems to fill the room. When they play the fiddle polka, even wallflowers bloom.
Okay, so Soundies were originally made to be basically film jukeboxes. So a nightclub that didn't have room for or didn't want to pay for like a band, they would buy or rent probably a Soundy, which was, it was called a panorama machine, which was like a big, it was about the size of a jukebox, and it had a screen in it, and you would put in like a nickel or a dime, and it would play whatever the next song was. Like you didn't get to choose what you could, it was on a endless loop 16 millimeter reel. And Soundies, I had to flip this. So, because Soundies were reversed, so they could be rear projected onto that screen. And, yeah, lots and lots of things from the 40s and 50s. There were lots of musical acts, some recorded live, although it was mostly pre-recorded, as you saw with that first guy who was trying to do that weird yodelish type of thing. You saw that he couldn't keep up. It also comes out, I saw a Soundy with Fats Waller, and it's clear that Fats Waller would vary whatever he would say whenever he performed, so he could not lip sync to himself. Because you would see him kind of change what he was saying, or, because that's who he is. So Soundies, very popular for a while. And then I think at some point they went away. And then they were reinvented in France as scopatones. And scopatones were a totally different type of machine. And they were set up that you could pick the song. You could put in money and then pick which song you wanted to watch. And those were in color. They also had a magnetic soundtrack. And they were Scopatone machines. And so there's a lot of popular music from the late 60s, early 70s, maybe mid 60s to early 70s. And the last time I saw a Scopatone machine was in Third Man Records in Nashville. And they had repurposed a Scopatone and had made their own soundies of various Jack White projects. So White Stripes and other bands that he had done. So, and I talked to the person at Color Lab, which is a film processing scanning lab in Maryland, and they made them. They made these brand new soundies, and they had to come up with a way to adjust the sound head so that they could print, and I think it was an optical sound head that they printed, but they offset it in a different way. So I think all the Third Man records have Scopatone machines, but there you go. I geeked out with you a little bit, but yes, Brian, or I can't remember who said it, but today was nuts. Was absolutely nuts. So Miss Cynthia, I don't have the Fats Waller one handy, but you should look online on YouTube. And I think it'll pop up. So there have been documentaries about Soundies. Soundies were then re-released in a way that were, you could get them like official films would have like compilations of Soundies. And then there was another company called Snyder Telescriptions, I think, which were also kind of Soundies, and you could put into a Soundy machine. So yeah, there's a lot of really interesting history, and this all predates, of course, MTV. Everybody's like, "Well, MTV, that was the music video." It's like, no, dude, like they existed before, and yes, they would also be short subjects that would show up. Not Soundies per se, but there were music videos and musical films that were made and were shown as short subjects during like a feature presentation. So, anyways, thanks so much for joining us today. I appreciate your eyeballs and we kind of went all over the place, right? All over the place, but that's why I like to do what I do. Is I like to show you things you've never seen before and teach you things you've never heard before. And some things we don't know, we don't understand. And we both scratch our heads together going like, I don't know what the point of that was. That is what AV Geeks is all about. So thanks again for joining us. If you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe. You can donate via the Super Thanks button or ko-fi.com/avgeeks. or patreon.com/avgeeks. Those are great ways to support us. At some point, hopefully next week, we'll start moving stuff back into the archive. We're almost done. So close, so close. And then at some point, then we'll move the equipment, and then I'll start doing shows from there again. But in the meantime, you'll see me in our dining room, our wood panel dining room. Everybody take care. Have a great rest of your day. We love you.